We are gearing up for a fantastic Formula 2 season in 2025. Welcome to the opening race of the season. We're at Albert Park in Melbourne, and it's time for the sprint race. Qualifying yesterday gave us a very entertaining battle, but drivers have penalties galore. Welcome to the first race of the season here in Albert Park, and it's time to go sprinting. What are we going to see? Leonardo Forloroli promoted to the pole position alongside Joshua Durtsky on the front row. It's been all changed as we gear up for racing around this 5.278 kilometre circuit. 23 laps ahead of us, a total as well of 4 sectors. Be mind that this is a tyre killer of a circuit. No mandatory pit stop in the sprint, but we are going to be seeing quite a lot of tyre degradation. Sunshine, blue skies as well, and it's all looking very nice indeed. Alongside me in the commentary box is Omi. Here we go then, mate. Time to start a whole new season for Formula 2.
22 stars wanting to get to Formula 1, all battling in one arena, and it's time for the 9th season of it. It's time for Formula 2 in 2025. Reigning Formula 3 champion of 2024 though, Leonardo Forloroli, is going to be starting on pole position, and he's going to have Joshua Durtsky, the man who's won the most latest race in Formula 2. At the end of last year, he won the future race in Abu Dhabi. Let's see whether he can kick off 2025 with the championship lead and victory in the sprint. Some contest coming our way today as we get a new season underway as the sun comes back out here in Albert Park.
Yeah, Gabriel Mini has received a 3-place grid penalty, so he has dropped to effectively 13th on the grid for this race and 3rd for tomorrow as well. But it's pushed him out completely, Omi, after a technical problem. And bittersweet after the way qualifying ended yesterday, of course, with a red flag in the last 2 minutes.
He'll start 4th tomorrow, so you'll still have an opportunity there in what could be a wet feature race with how the weather is looking. One rule that I think is absolutely worth mentioning right now is that this year we are going to see penalties awarded for both races. So you don't just get penalised in the sprint, you get it in the feature as well, as we take a look at the starting grid.
Starting from back to front then, Max Esterson starts 22nd with Emil Cordial starting in 21st position on row number 11. Row 10 sees Sami Megatunov alongside Kushmaini starting in 19th place. 18th on the grid for Jack Crawford alongside Clarence Shields as well. Let's see what he can do moving up in the field. 16th for Alexander Doon, and John Bennett starts in 15th. 14th on the grid comes Ollie Goethe alongside the penalised Gabriel Mini as well. 12th on the grid for Rafaela Villagomez and Jose Maria Marti as well, starting in 11th. Your top 10, Arvid Lindblad now starts in that position alongside Rito Miata starting P9. 8th on the grid for Sebastian Montoya and Victor Martins in 7th as well, looking for a stronger F2 season this year compared to last. 6th on the grid for Richard Verschoor and Roman Stanak lining up P5. 2nd row of the grid, Dino Beganovic alongside Luke Browning starting P3. And the front row of the grid, Joshua Durtsky and Leonardo Forloroli inheriting pole for the sprint. And now, it's not just Gabriel Mini, who's got penalties. You need to talk us through exactly what's happened, because in pre-season testing that we covered, it turns out the drivers have had multiple infractions of breaking a standardised part.
If you drive for Trident, Rodin or Dams, you find yourselves with a penalty. That's a 10th place for both races. That's Crawford, Maney, Cordial, Dunn, Esterson and Megatunov. If you would like the drivers who've earned themselves a penalty for that. However, when it comes towards the when it comes towards qualifying, of course, you did see Gabriele Mini get a penalty and a lot of other drivers. But also, I think it's worth mentioning about the shakedowns that there was. There was a lot of technical faults. Drivers like Arvid Lindblad, who find himself starting all the way near the back. He's promoted to 10th today, but he qualified 14th yesterday. Not what Lindblad wanted at all. He had technical issues. Loads of cars were cutting out. There were so many issues going on yesterday. So they had a shakedown as FIA and Formula 2 work together to try fix it. And hopefully that will be fixed, because we want to see a good start to the season. But yes, drivers will be getting penalties for both races now, not one. That's a new rule for this year.
Let's have a word then with our top 3, starting with Luke Browning.
Try and stay out of trouble, I think is the plan. I just want to get through these first couple of rounds, first 3 rounds, without any crashes and unnecessary penalties.
For sure the win. I mean, if I'm front row, of course I want to win. I have the big chances, and I think if we can fix some stuff which we have to improve from qualifying today, and we can apply it for tomorrow, for sure we can fight for the win.
First time starting P1 in F2, it's not gonna be easy, also because here you have 4 DRS zone. But yeah, I will just try to work now with my engineer to see how to drive the best and hope to score some good points tomorrow.
That's going to be the key thing, Omi, as well, starting with picking up some good points.
It will indeed. You want to get points underneath you early on in this championship. You're going to get rivals coming very quickly. As we mentioned, Lindblad out of position. He's a driver suspected to be one of our championship contenders. He, of course, had issues yesterday. Can you take advantage of it? Can you grab those extra points that you need? It's a big opportunity on days like this. And can you just find yourself with an early championship advantage? All of these drivers trying to forge away through to Formula 1, and after seeing so many promotions last year from this category straight up to the top tier, are we going to see any more as well? Arvid Lindblad looks set, but who's going to join him? All of these drivers will believe that it can be their year, and there's so many drivers, new and returning, who need it to be their year if they want to continue progressing to where they want to be in motorsport. But we're getting all set and ready for a brand new season of Formula 2. They're second with this regulations. Let's see what Dirksen can do from second. The driver from Paraguay is going to be up against the reigning Formula 3 champion on the run towards the first corner.
How like last year when Bortoletto started on pole position in his debut race after winning the F3 title, Forlaroli doing exactly the same. Well, teeth gritted, eyes focused, ready to start a whole new season. Green flag at the back. 2, 3, 4, 5, everything ready? And the F2 season is underway. Great start from Joshua Dirksken, jumps ahead of Leonardo Forlaroli, who falls in behind. Coming up on the inside line as well, Richard Verschoor, breaking late in into turn 1, they're 3 wide. Off the track, Maeta getting forced off as well. Meantime, for the back, they're all jumping around. Arvid Lindblad making a better getaway, moving to the inside line now. Look at this, swapping back. Dirksken trying to hold off from Forlaroli. Dirksken goes wide. Forlaroli tries to come back. They've all made it through the first couple of corners, Omi.
They have indeed. Joshua Dirksen with a brilliant start, promoting himself straight up into the lead. Ritomo Miata to the inside and just ahead of Pepe Marti as they try and navigate their way through, getting super tight in the background for Victor Martins. Victor Martins getting very tight, but he's going to slot in behind Alex Dunn to the inside of Jack Crawford, and Alex Dunn in the papaya livery will make the move as Dirksen's at the front, but as Forlaroli is slipstreaming on the run towards turn number 9.
No DRS on the opener, but it don't really matter with these generation of cars. Forlaroli's really going to try and launch around the outside. Can't find the braking into turn 9 and 10, decides against it, and now the run down towards turn 11 for the first time. Anybody going to have a slipstream together? They're thinking about it as we exit. Oh, car off into the gravel. That was, well, that's hard to tell who that was at the back. It's Kushminer, yeah, he's dropped right down to the rear, the second of the BWT liveried cars. So Dirksken leads, Forlaroli, Browning, Verschoor, Stanak, your top 5, and all ducking and diving as they try and come on the inside line as well. And, well, apart from one mistake from Kushmini, good start from everybody.
Mini was thinking about it on Montoya. Crawford back ahead of Alexton as well. Here we go then. Mini alongside, further back on the run towards turn 1. Let's see whether he can get past Return Miata. Here comes Victor Martins as well as he tries to make work of the Van Amersfoort car into the first turn, and he will make the move on Villa Gomez.
Sebastian Montoya up to 7th place then, so he's made a bit of a better getaway as they come down in towards turn 3. Already having to go defensive. I wish he was a bit sharper, the numbers on our timing screen, to try and work out who's where and when. Durskin's got a 7/10 advantage. DRS has been activated on this lap though, so they can use it, and that first attack zone is coming up now, which is down towards turn 9. Oh no! Problem! For one of the ARTs, Victor Martins in trouble! Steering wheel pointing the wrong way! I think he's either collected somebody or hit the wall, broken front right, and he's out of the race!
That'll be disappointment for Victor Martins, trying to kickstart his season. Our pole sitter for tomorrow is going to find himself out today, and that's such disappointing for him. That's not what he wanted, and we're going to have to look at a replay to see what has happened to the French driver.
Might be a virtual safety car to recover him from behind the barrier. Turn 6 is a very fast part of the track. I wouldn't be surprised if race control did. We've got a yellow flag at the moment. I'll wait to see if that becomes a virtual safety car. They've gone green. Well done, Marshals. They've got that one done cleanly. Let's take a look what happened, Amy.
Let's take a look.
Oh,
He's going to lose it, and he's going to be into the wall. He was into that wall 2 years ago when it was raining in Formula 2 qualifying in 2023. He's back in the wall again, this time in the dry, this time in 2025 in the sprint race. And well, that was such a big moment, and that's how simple it is as we have the virtual safety car deployed.
Yeah, I knew that was coming out. It had to, in order to make sure that the circuit would be A-OK to everybody. So the virtual safety car has come out to protect the marshals and protect the drivers as well as this race goes on. And we will now calm it down and get going once more before the restart procedure. Bitter disappointment though, Omi. They did not want this to happen today.
They did not, and Martins will try fight his way back through tomorrow. Well, it's not going well for the man who's set to be starting the feature race on pole. Kamara out earlier on, and now Martins, who's set to also start on pole for F2, out as well in the sprint. So not going well for the feature race pole sitters by the looks of things today, as they both find themselves out of the contest. So we still have 21 running. Cordial is at the back of the field as we take a look back at the start, and it's the charging AIX who went straight through on Fornaroli. Experienced drivers getting a good jump. Stanek also running 4 wide as well. It was all getting super tight into the first turn, and then this is going to be a big moment as they went on the brakes. You had Victor Martins who was wide, so it was Martins and the ART who was wide, and then they all just get together, and Fornaroli thought he had a run down into turn 3, definitely had a run into turn number 9, and that's going to be much more later on. The rest of the field just battling. It'll be interesting to see what happened to Kush Maney as well later on in the lap, but this was the start for Martins. Good start initially.
Yeah, and getting good getaway. He pulls to the outside line and made up 3 places. Just gets a little knock. Goes across the grass and loses out. Not the best start in the end. Great first. Oh, we're back to green flag.
We are back to green flag indeed, but it was Stanek as well who was alongside, and you had Vishal to the side as well. So those were the 3 heading into turn number 1. Jack Crawford has come into the pit lane, not going Dam's way at all then, with Marnie with a moment on the first lap. And now Crawford into the pit lane. We're back to green.
Look how Fuller, look at that. Durskin's put out 1.2 seconds already to the front. And look at that. Fullerelli's under pressure from Browning. He's trying to send it round the outside into turn 3. Not going to work there, I'm afraid. He'll have to try and regroup and push on again. What a fantastic little start this is turning out to be then here in Formula 2. Lap 4 of 23. This race might actually be over in time. Done it now, haven't I? So I'll send it into the wall probably. Calm start. How much is this, by the way, why is F3 giving us fantastic wheel-to-wheel action, and F2 already we're seeing 22-second gaps to the field after 4 laps? What's going on?
Yeah, well, some of those drivers at the back found themselves spinning around and all of that stuff, but F2 settling in. But yeah, not the F3 chaotic style start that we had, but let's see if anyone is willing to amend that for us. You've got Dino Beganovic currently in 6th, the rest of them all right now making their way down to turn number 11. and it's getting super tight further back as well throughout the field. So really, yeah, it's definitely one of those calmer starts. Marty under a bit of pressure from Mini, and Crawford is out.
4 laps, 2 retirements. Here we go again then as well. So Jack Crawford retires alongside Victor Martins. So Rita Mayata just hopefully going to stay for ART at this point and keep it going. Just had it through my ears that the red flag has come out in the NASCAR Truck Series race for a second time. That race might be concluded because it is weather defined at the moment, so that race might be over. We'll keep you up to date with that if you're watching both streams at the moment. What happened to Cordeal? Ran wide, if I remember correctly, at the start and has dropped back.
Yeah, we don't have a set reason for Cordeal, but we absolutely know about Miney, who had a moment on the opening lap. But yeah, we're unsure at the moment about Cordeal, but probably ran wide somewhere to lose that much time, or had a bit of contact as well that we weren't able to pick up. Now, Fornaroli, after being under a bit of pressure from Browning, now settling back in inside the 1 second, and he will attack Joshua Dirksen, so we could be getting a battle for the lead at the front of the field in a couple of moments' time. It's through then to 0.4 of a second. You'll need to continue to close in and then use the DRS to close in and make that pass on the AIX car. Further back though, you've got another Invicta under a bit of pressure. Beganovic is going to get a chance to get past Stanek.
He's going to go on the inside. Oh, that's very tight. Be careful. Beganovic around the outside line, just holding off as well. And Roman Stanek falls in to the line behind him. Look at Sebastian Montoya in the Prema trying to come through. Not going to work out. And we switch now as well to Gabriel Mini, who's got ahead of Jose Maria Marti.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is definitely getting so tight between these drivers. Miata very nearly running into the gravel in the background of our shot as well. Does Montoya go for it into turn 1? Looking further back. Marty trying to make the move as well. You've got Lindblad getting past Miata. Doing it side by side further back as well with Villa Gomez.
Goethe in there too, so that they're all lining it up quite smoothly. Keep an eye as that goes along. Villa Gomez though with that DRS. Now we cut to the front as well. Rita Mayata can't get past Lindblad once again. Now it's all going wrong for Goethe. Is getting a sandwich between himself as well. Villa Gomez, Sami Megatunif in there as well. What a great start this is turning out to be. Okay, I take it back. We're starting to get action now. This is what happened. This was yellow flags are out, Omi. Yellow flags. Now
yeah, absolutely.
They've just gone through turn 6.
I think F2 got very offended with your comments earlier on, but this is Mini getting past as well. Now we're on board with
safety
Gertha,
car. We've got a big one. Driver
safety car's out.
Driver off turn 6. Driver off turn 6. Don't know who it is just yet, but that's where we've gone through on the field, and now we've got a safety car. So who has done the F2 thing? As Goethe was in the battle of the replay. We don't need to see this. We need to see what's happening. There it is. Driver in the wall into Trident.
Esterson.
Max Esterson is in the wall. He's, oh hello, look at that. He's spun 360 on entry. You can see on the the tyre marks. He hasn't touched the barrier. So, go on.
Yeah, absolutely. Max Esterson then off the road, and it will be disappointing for the driver who was in sim racing, who's come from sim racing about 5 years ago, has progressed through his career. Formula 3 last year, got 2 rounds at the back end of last season in Formula 2 in Qatar and Abu Dhabi, and our full-time season, which begins with him joining Crawford and Martins as a retirement. So we're getting back to the retirement list increasing. Let's see what happened. We're waiting for the red and white Trident.
Yeah, lost it on entry.
Okay. Yeah, lost it completely, and round he goes. And then as soon as you lose it, you're a passenger at that stage, straight all the way to the scene of the accident, and then it's going to be raced over for Max Esterson, and not the start that Trident wanted, as we're behind the safety car now. So Fornaroli will be trying to get past Dirksen on this restart. Let's see whether Dirksen can nail the restart like we saw Santiago Ramos do earlier on in the Formula 3 race that happened today.
Absolutely. Now, people often say, well, why do they change turn 6? Why is it now a crash point? It's always been a crash point ever since it came into Formula 1 at Albert Park. We've always had a couple of drivers lose it in there. Most notably, of course, Michael Schumacher in 2001 in practice barrel rolled several times into the gravel trap there in a huge accident when he got clipped and spun around in exactly the same situation. So if one of the greatest of all time could do it, anybody can do it.
Yeah. Not turning into a good day at all for Trident either, with all 3 of their cars out in F3. They've got 1 of their cars out in F2. Megatunif, their only hope on Sprint Saturday. Their only hope right now, as it stands, he's currently running in 14th position behind Alex Dunn as well. And I think as we're under the safety car, perfect time to run you through the order. Dirksen, Fornaroli, Browning, Vashor, Boganovic, Stanek, and then it's the 2 Premis, Montoya ahead of Mini, and then Marty and Limla, the campus is together as well. Miata, the only ART that's running, he's in 11th, and then it's Gertha, Dunn in 13th, Villa Gomez, and Megatunif in 15th as we mentioned, John Bennett, and then Shields is ahead of Maney, and then it's Cordeal, and those are the 19 drivers that still run. That's the order at this stage. It's all going to change when we do get to green flag racing, hopefully, as Invicta watch on and try and guide another driver to the title who's basically following the exact same route as Bortoletto.
Yeah.
Won the title with Trident, and going to Invicta. That's what Bortoletto did, and Fornaroli's done the exact same thing. So the same teams in F3 and F2, and the same goal as well. Fornaroli's completed about 50% of that target, and now he's got to go out here in Formula 2 and win this.
Even started on pole position, which is what Bortoletto did last year in Bahrain, because Kushmani got sent to the back of the grid. So
absolutely,
it's nice. It's already the patterns it's following as we're behind the safety car. AX posing for a boy band photo there in the pit lane. What the hell are they doing?
I mean, they're loving life. They're loving life. They've got a driver in the lead right now. A team that's still fairly new to Formula 2. Of course, they, well, it's their first full season being branded as AIX. Of course, a team that was PHM mostly as well. With that name changed midway through coming into Imola last year. So they've got their first full season with that. Dams, of course, operating now in Formula 3 as well as Formula 2. They've always been in Formula 2, but they've also gone to Formula 3. They've expanded into that category. As we review the start once again, because we're behind the stage, we don't really have much to do. So we're just reviewing the start once again on the run towards Turn 1.
Fantastic start on the outside line. I'm trying to see who that is. It's one of the AXs, so it's the one who's started further back in the field. Fantastic start for Clan Shields. Went round the outside of 3 of them. Oh, what a launch from Dirksken. As soon as the lights went out, controlled the wheel spin beautifully with the slip of the clutch. Fantastic. Are we going to be worried?
Yeah.
As out there we see running off the circuit.
Martins.
That was Victor Martins who went through the chip of the gravel trap. And the grass.
Yes, absolutely. And also, right now coming in, you could see rejoining the circuit right next to Sebastian Montoya, and then his race came undone in a couple of meters then down through, lost the car and straight into the wall, and that is him. Well, that's him classified as a retirement, and shocking stuff, shocking way to start his season, because it's supposed to be his year now. Looks like he's got a good team and car underneath him this year, and he was hoping that it could be his year, but oh, that's not the moment you want to start it.
So front and rear suspension gone as well on Martins' car. Well, that's not use at all. Well done for keeping it in the straight and narrow, bro.
Yes.
Safety car should be in shortly. It's been under 3 laps. Well, there, 29 minutes. Yeah, gone.
It's really turning into, well, the Formula 3, of course, there was a very long safety car as well in that. Formula 2 having the absolute exact same right now with Dirksen. He's going to have a huge opportunity now to nail the restart. He's going to really try that. Fornaroli's got to look in behind. Browning's been on the attack pretty much on the restarts today as well. You've got the experienced Richard Overshaw in 4th as well, who you can never count out. He's just always in there and always in the mix. So keep an eye on him, and then some of the Premiers. Gabriele Mini, I think he'll be trying to charge through, so we're going to have to keep an eye on him.
My leg is getting cramped. Okay, copy.
Oh, that cramp is never
Don't
good.
want that around a circuit like this.
quite unusual to get cramp in a Formula car as well, because your feet are elevated above the driver. So sort of laid down. You couldn't get it though. Anybody who's laid in bed and felt cramp in the middle of the night, you know exactly what it's like. But yeah, muscles tensing. That's because presumably he's having to accelerate, brake a lot more, and it's hurting the muscle.
Absolutely. So that's exactly what he's finding himself doing. But a typical way to start the FTC is a long safety car period, but hopefully it'll be in when we cut the beam for the next lap. And the next lap, which is going to be lap number 10 out of 27 minutes on the clock still remains in this contest, with a contest that has a bonus point for fastest lap that currently belongs to Richard Rashaw with MP Motorsport, as we take a look at why Esterson's race came to a close once again.
Lost an entry, and he did well actually not to bounce back. They've done a lot of work to stop the cars bouncing back into the path of the main track, which happened to Russell last year, but they're still going in there. They need to get that sorted, and the gravel especially. It was
last year was a horrible Sunday as well, because you had Russell have it. Yes, he had it in F1, but a couple of hours before, Hauger had it from the race lead in F2, as well in the feature race, and they both ended in the exact same location. Which, if you have two crashes in the same way in two different series, I think that pretty much tells that cars cannot be bouncing, and then they have to get the safety cars out immediately. So you cannot afford that, and you cannot have that. So it's good that they've done some work, but yeah, a bit more work can be done as well. But love this new Australia circuit that we've had since 2022, just fast flowing, and I think it's worked well. I think the old format of Australia wouldn't have worked well or as well with Formula 2 and Formula 3. But since they've come here in 2023, it's all worked out. And I'm happy to say the podcast will end because the safety car is ending. So we're actually going to commentate on some racing now.
That's better. Let's go racing again.
Yeah.
Now, presumably, do they all have new engines this year? Because I can't explain why Dirkson's so quick still, unless he had an engine still that's better than last year.
Well, Dirkson's still a talented driver.
Oh, yeah.
It is fair to say. Right. Well, let's spend the next few laps assessing Fornaroli, Dirkson, and trying to see some of the straight line. Yeah, let's try to figure that out. Of course, we can't be 100% sure who's got the advantage this year. It could be anyone, really. But yeah, let's figure that out then across the next few laps.
Let's go. Come on. Dirkson's gone too early. That's way too early. That's going to give Fornaroli a nice little slipstream down in towards turn 1. That's a bad restart. You go here. That's where you push it. Exit this corner. Because now, watch this as the race restarts. Traction's good. Over the line. DRS will be active next time by. And we're racing on lap 11 of 23 here for F2. Tyres still not fully up to temperature yet. In fact, Fornaroli looks like he's under pressure from Browning more than anybody else into turn 1. No one going for a move. Wow.
That's what we mentioned as well. You'd have to be careful as well, as Marnie now on the back. Cordial also in there at the back. A bit of a calm restart. Let's see whether Beganovic can put some pressure on Rashaw, or are we going to continue the single file nature? Dun's going defensive. Here we go. Dun's going defensive. And he tries to defend from Villagomez. But Dun will hang on to the pace up against Villagomez.
Villagomez trying to look around the outside, but we've changed battle to Montoya and Mini at the front, as well as they set after Roman Stanak in 6th position. For sure with that fast lap at the moment. DRS active next time by. And now that safety car could be well timed as we're halfway in the race, because sounds like we might need a bit of traction for DRS.
Yes, Fornaroli's now well in there. He needs to remain with Dirkson. And next time around, you'll start getting DRS. Let's look at this exit from Sebastian Montoya. You had Beganovic get past Stanek. That's now the goal ahead of Montoya. Can he go for a move to the outside?
What was that defence from Stanek? Blocked the inside line, but they gave Montoya a great corner entry. Bizarre defence there from Stanek. And look, the wheel's sliding away from him.
It's getting away from him. He's fighting away with the car, as not all going Stanek's way right now compared to his teammate. Fornaroli dropping outside the 1 second, so Dirkson just maintaining it at this stage. Fornaroli needs to get back inside the 1 second, or he'll have Luke Browning and Richard Rashaw and Dino Beganovic all on the back. But a bit of a DRS train to start off this restart. We're going to start seeing some moves. They are going to get impatient. It is Formula 2. It's going to turn into some fireworks in a moment's time, I'm sure of it. Until then, probably we get another safety car out there on the circuit. That's usually the way we go about it.
DRS active. I've worked out why we're having this racing, by the way. Look what tyres they're on. They're on the mediums, not the super soft. Now, usually in the sprint race, we see the drivers on super softs. So, yeah, very... I wonder if they're saving those sets for tomorrow because they know it's going to rain.
Absolutely. We'll need them, and of course they... And we mentioned the tyre wear around the circuit, so they do need to make them last as well a little bit as well. So that's right now what is taking place. Brandon's closing in on Fornaroli a lot because Fornaroli did not have the DRS.
Oh, spin! That's going to be a big one! Spin and win! Wow! Well done, the field, and well done, Bogdanovic, to keep that going, but has he kept it going? Oh, he has. He's kept the clutch in. Right in the middle of the pack, Bogdanovic going round at the fastest part at 9 and 10, and nobody collecting him. And he kept the clutch. That was one thing that we've seen this weekend. Everywhere it goes, the car dies.
Yeah, absolutely kept it going. Brilliant work. And, well, I was expecting a move to come in from Browning, and then all of a sudden his teammate is the one that is spinning round. So a dramatic moment, a big moment from Dino Bogdanovic, but well done to the field, well done to everyone behind, including right now Gabriele Mini, who's putting the pressure on Pepe Marti.
Marti's locked up. He's going to go very, very much deep into turn 1. Mini gets a switch back and does it perfectly, but they'll both have DRS, but now he's out to defend from his own teammate of Arvid Lindblad. They're going 3 wide into the braking zone. Mini's on the inside. He gets it through, and yeah, can't see anything going for Lindblad there.
They'll all erupt in that battle down to turn number 9 for sure, because look how close they all are in this train.
DRS now together. Let's take a look at this spin again for Bogdanovic. He's had to go defensive and just went too deep.
Yeah. Stanek with a late send, and well done Sebastian Montoya as well. He got super, super close in the red and white Prema.
Can't turn in.
Lucky mate. Just seen that. Good job.
That, I'll say it right there, that would have been a side-on impact at a very high speed. We've got very, very lucky there to keep that one in track. No one going for a move then just yet as they come into the braking zone. I speak better of it. Tried and going for a move on the inside too. Yeah, Sammy's made it.
Thinking about it for sure, and he's just going to find himself in front of John Bennett as well, the runner-up of GB3 from last year. Ericsson's now pulled away 2.2 seconds at the front of the field as we come around the 14th and final corner on this circuit now. And we wait to see who's going to be pulling off some of those overtakes. So Mini was able to now move ahead as he now will look to try and continue and push on in this race. But the battle will be for second place as well. Once again, just like the F3 race, I'm noticing that they're that for the entire race, they're just keeping the gap to the leader. Yeah.
Not liking that. We've got intervals on ours, which is the best one to have. Hopefully have it for Formula 3 as well tomorrow. We just had to wait for the race graphic to come on to set it up because it was having a very much a disagreement with what we were wanting it to do. On board with Luke Browning then. He's closing in on Leonardo Forlaroli. Once again, just reeling him in bit by bit. The DRS helps so much as well. And he's going to have a second go at the cherry down here into turn number 11. Let's see. Is Browning going to go for a late move? No, thinks against it. Yellow flag. Oh!
Oh, Megatunif!
Into the gravel and safety car deployed.
Well, mentioned that Sammy Megatunif was the only driver flying the flags today for Trident, and all 3 drivers from Trident and F3 retired, all in F2 now as well. Due to this moment, he went all the way around the outside and then lost the car up against John Bennett there when he was battling.
Is it weird that that's happened twice now in 2 laps? It's exactly the same accident. Spinning.
Yeah.
I don't think NASCAR...
All Tridents have DNF'd. It's just a day to forget for them. It's gone horrible.
Shit.
Sorry, mate, he squeezed me to the wall.
What?
Well, going deep and wide, then then it's always going to be a little dirtier out there. Those drivers...
Yeah, I think Alex Bundle's being kind there. At what point is the outside with big open fields, grass? Admit what you did, mate. You spun. You spun.
Yes, Alex Bundle being the kind person he is
Yeah.
to these drivers as well. But yes, no filter for JB. He's going all in as well to the drivers. Okay, we look at the time field and they can pack up. I mean, all 3 retired in F3, all 2 are retired in F2. I mean, there's nothing to celebrate. They didn't even finish any races today.
Let's have a look. Did he squeeze him into the wall? No wall, no wall. Dropped it with the rear locking. No wall, no wall. There's the light touch of the wall, but at no point did he actually touch the wall.
I think we're racing at Monaco or Saudi Arabia or something.
Sammy Megatinov needs his head examining if he thinks that the lush green field is a wall. What on earth is that about? Let's see who's on about the
But
running
I'll
to
get
turn 9.
repaired quickly and hopefully we'll go racing next lap. Let's hope. And we'll hope to continue this race, which has just been full of safety cars with brief moments of racing in between. Let's hope that we can end this one on a high with a great battle at the front for the race victory between Dirksen and Leonardo Fornaroli. Browning will be in there, so will Verschoor. But yeah, the outside, it's really not working with these Formula 2 cars, the outside of turn number 9. It was in Formula 3, but they're not being able to keep it foot to the floor and planted. So they're getting all out of shape on the exit.
I'm with Warren here, says Durskin needs to change where he restarts or Fornaroli will be on him. Because they've all saved tyres now, we should be good to the end.
Yeah, they've had so many laps behind the safety car. I mean, the safety car period which saw Esterson out, that was incredibly long. And then we were finally able to get going back under the safety car. This one should be shorter, and hopefully it'll come in at the end of this lap so we can get the action going. But yes, Dirksen may need to reevaluate because, of course, Fornaroli would have seen that. Fornaroli will be prepared in case Dirksen does go early.
Stand it.
Remember what we said in the track was, it's not about making the pass, it's about forcing the mistake.
Okay.
Yep.
All the time you gotta leave with a mistake.
Indeed. Safety car ending, there we go, as predicted. At the end of this lap, we'll go back to green flag on lap number 17. Let's hope we end this one under green flag in a race where we've seen retirements. Oh, well, we've seen only 4 of them, but it felt like we've had quite a lot more, and they've been dropping like flies. Let's see, by the time that we get to the end of lap 23, how many will we have remaining as well? As you take a look from the back of the Aston Martin safety car, and it's been a Formula 2 race that has definitely had the usual safety car chaos and some bold, chaotic moments also in between. Let's see if we're going to add to that list in our first chapter of 14 in the sprint race as well.
Safety car boards in. Let's see what happens. Is Fornaroli going to stick to the back of Dirtskin? This is the big factor. Exactly when is Dirtskin going to put pedal to the metal? And the foot to the floor, etc, etc, etc. Tension as we ride with Dirtskin. Too early. And Fornaroli knew it was coming. He's got with it this time. He's much closer this time, Omi, isn't he? That was bad from Dirtskin. That's going to leave him very, very vulnerable.
Down the start finish straight, Fornaroli's going to get a run, and not only that, he's just going to keep himself in there. He's going to keep himself within, and that's what he really needs just to do. Dirksen's going to pull a little bit away down the straight, but now it's going to become 7/10 and it's much more closer this time around by about a 1/10 of a second. So Fornaroli just has to stick with Dirksen, but Dirksen really going for the early approaches, kept him ahead into turn 1, but now can he break clear, or will Fornaroli stick with him?
All clear into turn 1, now down into 3. Dirtskin leads Fornaroli from Browning in there too. So no one going to make him move too much. Look at Montoya ahead of Mini. That's a partnership that Prema, that is working interestingly well at the moment.
Absolutely, until they start going wheel to wheel. They did make contact in Spain last year in Formula 3 at turn number 6 it was as well in the sprint race, I remember, and there was lots of frustration between those two. They would have definitely yeah, they definitely would have talked about it and got that cleared up before their partnership here, but they don't want to add to that. They're currently 4/10 away, and I'm sure many will want to get by Fornaroli sticking with Dirksen,
Yeah.
but it's next time around where the DRS will be open.
Cautiously, they'll be on the attack and on the eruption sooner rather than later, of course, to finding some traction out here. Awesome race lined up for tomorrow, isn't it? It's just all sort of... Oh no, into the gravel,
Miata!
Miata! Wide at 11 and snaps it back. Is it me or is it getting cloudy out there? Have you noticed?
It is getting cloudy. I was hearing all about, the sunny F1 qualifying coming up. Well, you know,
Where?
it might be a bit cloudy to that. But Miata and... so it was done to the inside, that's why Miata went off the road, they were going side by side. But now this is what happens, when we get to this point of the circuit, on the next lap after the safety car restart, Fornaroli loses the 1 second, and it's not what he wants. He needs to stick inside of it, utilize it, and stay with him to get the DRS. That's the only way he can make this move. Or other than that, Dirksen's going to be able to hang on. He's got the fastest lap as well. Meanwhile, Dirksen's teammate Shields is defending. Beganovic around the outside.
That was a brilliant move from Beganovic to get back up, but it was costing nearly everything. It was a bit too close for my comfort, I must admit. Speaking of points-paying positions, Jose Marti's holding on to that last one for his teammate Arvid Lindblad, but Alexander Dune chasing them up now a bit more, so that could become a quite feisty fight in the last couple of laps. We're seeing Joshua Durskin leading now by a second to Fornaroli, but he hasn't. It's now a second, so he's broken that DRS detection point. That's critical because that's going to leave Browning round the back.
Browning will get the chance. Browning will get the opportunity down to turn number 11. We go, and Dirksen's had this one controlled pretty much ever since we had the race start, and even under the safety car restart, he's been able to keep it. Arnie's thinking about it, and he is the damned Lucas Oil driver trying to get past Anne-Marie Cordier, a late addition to this Formula 2 field as well. But we are going to now see Dirksen over the line 1.3, much more comfortable for him. The battle will be between Fornaroli and also Browning for second place. For sure will be in there to pick up any pieces as well. So an interesting ending to this race coming up. The Pramers also want to get involved. They want to go hunt down Roman Stanek, and right now Mini wants to get past his teammate. The Pramers are about to do battle.
That's going to be dead treacherous. Montoya goes deep. Mini tries to cut back. Don't fight each other. It's pointless, especially when you've got the two ones behind for Campos.
Well, Campos, the team that had lots of friction last year between Hadjo and Marty, that was sorted by the time they got all the way to the end of the season. But you don't want to start the season off with any frictions between teammates, and Montoya very nearly losing the 1 second to Stanek, so that's what the fighting between those two has cost them as well. And that will now give the opportunity to Mini to try and get in there. Browning still a couple of tenths away from Fornaroli as well at the moment, so he's not able to go for that move on lap number 19 out of 23.
Just getting on it. Oh, and he's thought about it. He hasn't. No, he's left it pretty much steady.
Just being large in the mirrors at this stage, trying to force the error. That's exactly what Stanek was told on the radio. Try force the error is what Mini is trying to do up against his teammate. Which I think Mini is, of course, as we mentioned, championship material. Most are predicting him for the championship along with Lindblad this year. So he has the pace. He is the faster of the Prema drivers, if we be truly honest as well. So he's just trying to get past his teammate without too many issues here. And of course, for his championship, he needs every point he can. And it all starts here. You could miss out on the championship by a couple of points by the end of it, who knows? So he needs to be trying to get past his teammate and see whether he can do anything about Roman Stanek as well. Every driver for themselves in Formula 2. And that is usually the case throughout the entire season, unless there's a very clear championship favourite in the team, where sometimes the team would want them to support, let's say, in the final race to help their teammate become the champion.
A few bits of dust getting kicked up as they fly through. An experiment's being done here at Albert Park, actually, where they've painted the start area gantry of the catch fencing for the fans black. Now, they've done an experiment to see if it works, because then they'll paint all the catch fencing black around the circuit. Apparently it gives better visibility through it for the human eye and the camera. So, yeah, apparently that's quite... Yeah, if it's worth a go, try it. Let's have it. Do you feel a bit like you're in a cage when you're in street circuits? Catch fencing is very pretty, but yeah, let's have it with black. Look, what? There they are. Look, can you see them on the start line, Omi?
Yeah, I can. Absolutely. Definitely visible.
Feels a bit better actually. I like it. Let's try them all as they come into it.
Browning has to be closer. He's always missing out by about 2/10. When he gets to turn 9, he really needs to be close. Turn number 9 will be a big opportunity. A risk around the outside, though, is going to be quite big considering what we've seen so far. But it's risk versus reward stuff. How much does he want? That second place, the Williams-backed driver as well, who will surely be getting some FP1 outings later this year with Williams' team. Right now, he's all focused on second.
More dust getting kicked up from turn 6 as well. We've got a supercars race just after F1 qualifying. Their third race of... No, hang on. No, third race of the weekend. The fourth one tomorrow at some point as well. I think it's just after the F2 race tomorrow is their third and final race. So very much F1 has been all throughout going to it. Ooh, a little twitch there actually from Browning. That's going to allow Vershaw to get his traction. Tyres have gone effectively. Maybe we should look at having a pit stop in the sprint race, or reducing the laps of the sprint race.
Well,
better
I definitely
engines.
I definitely like the laps that we get, but maybe a tyre that can do them then.
Yeah,
would be a good idea, because they are trying to conserve it quite a bit, and I didn't really agree with what Gabriele Mini said yesterday in terms of, oh well, I'm not in Formula 3 anymore. We don't really need to worry about tyres because we have a pit stop. Well, in the sprint race, you absolutely do have to focus on the tyres. I remember Budapest, that was absolutely, we had punctures last year, we had it all happening as well. So there will be races where you do have to. So it's not a skill that you just leave behind once you complete Formula 3. It's something that you carry, and it's feature race style. This race for Formula 3 to Formula 2 sprint. It's kind of has a bit of connections as well with how you handle it, but it's just a sprint race for F2. But they're still pushing on. They still want to get those points. The penultimate tour of this race, and that will mean that we only have one more lap to go for Joshua Dirksen to claim his third victory in Formula 2.
Montoya twitching ever so slightly, but he's kept in the throttle. Just one more tour then of the 5.278 kilometre circuit. And all of a sudden, it's just starting to spice up a little bit because everyone's backing up. Bar Durska is now 1.6 seconds ahead. Foraroli is backing the pack up.
He is. Now it's up to Browning if he wants to get by. Talking about getting by, side by side between Dune and Marty.
Dune's through. Marty has to stay back. So Marty down to 9th place and crucially outside the points paying position, Omi.
Yep, absolutely. So that's changed around on the final lap. Dirksen about to win 2 Formula 2 races in a row as he was our winner in Abu Dhabi. As we can see the battling going on. Goethe trying to attack Lindblad, both part of the Red Bull Academy, both part of different teams though when it comes towards Formula 2. You have Lindblad with Campos, Goethe with MP Motorsport, both battling for the same piece of tarmac as well, into turn number 3.
Lindblad locked up as well, that's going to give an advantage as well. To Lindblad, so let's have a look, watch this back again. So this is Montoya on entry, just touching the grass, there's at the back, the side by side, that's how we got through as well for Alexander Dune. Outside manoeuvre into turn 12 is very impressive. Full respect to that. Look at that, Dune's going 2 seconds to Foraroli. Absolutely insane at the end of this.
Browning won't be close enough. They'll have to be either Vershaw moving to 3rd. That'll be the opportunity, or possibly the Prema of Montoya getting past Stanek. Let's see if any of it will happen.
This is effectively the last overtaking opportunity on the track. Do you want to risk it or collect the points? Tomorrow could be a washout. This could be the only bit you get, especially if we have to go to half points tomorrow. Well, he's proved he can do it with a new engine. He can prove he can do it with the same as everybody else. Back to back, Abu Dhabi 24 to Australia 25. Joshua Dunscan wins the opener here in Melbourne. Fornaroli finishes in second, Browning in third, for sure fourth, Stanak in fifth, and AIX start the year as they mean to go on with victory. That was an impressive run from Dunscan.
Celebrations for AIX, celebrations for Paraguay. Their very own Joshua Dirksen claiming the win. His third victory in Formula 2, and this will be a race to celebrate. He's coming into this season wanting to go for the championship, and he is the championship leader.
2 turns.
Good job, mate. Very good job. Very good race.
Yes, guys, come on. Best way to finish the season last year, and best way to start the season this year. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, team. Great car. Come on.
Same machinery effectively, Omi, isn't it? But that was a much better result from him and a much better race, actually, I think. Safety cars upon safety cars, but hey, that's this track. You just got to go with it sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. Not as exciting, I'll be honest, as we've seen in other years for Formula 2. I think it's been one of the more quieter ones. Of course, you had the chaos, you had the spins, but in terms of racing action, we didn't get what we've seen in the last few years. So slightly more down on that, but we'll hopefully get that tomorrow in whatever conditions we have, wet or dry. But it did seem like lots of them with the dirty air were just struggling at times.
Good job for Browning. First F2 podium. Well done, mate.
Yeah, I'm happy. Good job, boys.
Notice how they called him Browning, not Luke. Banter between teams and their drivers and the engineers.
Well, junior teams and drivers, their connections together are always great and are always fun to see as well. They're always they always enjoy being together. And Montoya as well, I have to say, he was with Prema a long time ago in Italian F4, and yeah, they last a long time. And even if the drivers do progress into F1, they absolutely keep connection, because for certain drivers they stick with the same junior teams all the way through their careers as well, like we had Behrman with Prema and Tonelli with Prema. So that'll definitely be a partnership that they will absolutely remember and also celebrate in years to come, even after their F1 success. But that's where these 22 drivers want to end up, Formula 1, and Joshua Dirksen definitely getting himself in the mix as well, keeping hope high for Paraguay, who are hoping for this to be Dirksen's title, and Dirksen will be heading over then to Parc Ferme and parking the car in P1.
Let's head down then to the world feed and hear the latest news and hopefully an interview with our drivers.
But still on the top step of the podium, he will climb out of his car and starts his 2025 campaign in the perfect way with a win in the sprint race. The AIX racing driver climbs onto the top of his car. He's number one today. Well done, Joshua Dirksen. A win to get his campaign off to a start, and AIX Racing continuing to improve all the time in just their second season in this championship.
Yeah, what a great start to the year for that outfit. Ended up 9th in the team's championship last year, but a very marked upturn in form. Rebranded, of course, in recent times to full AIX Racing spec, and they took a real upturn in form, especially in the hands of Dirksen. So that's impressive to see. Fornaroli jumps out of the car, and he'll be very happy with his day's work. At least the youngsters look like they've worked a bit, having jumped in and delivered straight away in a Formula 2 car.
Yeah, absolutely. And Fornaroli, of course, lost the lead off the start, didn't he? So may feel slightly disappointed about that, but overall a podium in the first race of the season, big points on the board, and he is in the running at the start. Joshua Dirksen taking his time there to take the moment all in, and get the pictures done. There comes Leo Fornaroli. Good sportsmanship between the pair, as there always is in this championship. And Joshua Dirksen makes sure he gets everything he needs to remember this one. Third win now for him in F2. And Luke Browning coming over to say well done as well. He on the podium for the first time.
Yeah, great day for Luke Browning. And the start of, hopefully for him, a championship campaign. That's what he was aiming for at the beginning of the year. He was in the championship hunt for a long time last season in a Formula 3 car. He'll be hoping for the same this year. Williams Driver Academy thinking very highly of Luke Browning.
They do, and this the perfect way to say to them why they should continue to keep putting their faith in him and really put a statement result down there. He's here to really go for this season, and that's good for confidence as well. Getting a good result in the first race, big for confidence.
Definitely is. I mean, carries 6 races that he did at the end of last year into this championship, so a little bit more experience than some of the other rookies that we, you know, if we want to use that term for drivers beginning their first full season of competition. But that being said, you know, demonstrated quality there, as has this man today. Demonstrated quality and experience, I think.
There we go, sir, the potential stars of the future off and running in this season's...
Well, why am I not surprised? They've got 10 minutes. Really? Yeah. Oh, okay, never mind. Right.
F2 wasn't even delayed.
No, that's perfectly on time. They could have easily... They've got 4 minutes until their schedule... Oh, never mind. Right. I hate Sky sometimes, I really do. Omi, could you please run us through the results?
Absolutely! Joshua Dirksen claims his 3rd victory in FIA Formula 2 and goes back-to-back after winning the 2024 feature race in Abu Dhabi. Now, in 2025, he started the season with the championship lead as well, and he was joined on the podium by Fornaroli and Luke Browning, who's in 3rd, and then it's Rashaw in 4th, Stanix in 5th, Montoya is in 6th, then it's Mini in 7th, and then we have Pepe Marti in 8th position, grabbing the final point. Just outside the points was Dunn and Arvid Lindblad running out the top 10, and then it's Goethe, Miata, Villagomez, Biganovic, Cordial, Maney, Shields, and Bennett, who were the rest of your finishers. And then out of the race, Sami Megatunif, Max Estiston on a day to forget for Trident, who've seen all drivers retire in Formula 3 and F2, and then Crawford and Martins were your non-finishers for that race. And I'll also give my final thoughts once again so you can wrap up. Brilliant Formula 2 race. I think slightly less action compared to previous years. I want to see a bit more action tomorrow like we had in Formula 3. So cannot wait for that. But we're going to have an interesting race tomorrow in the feature race.
Yeah, I was just trying to see if I could get the F1 TV feed up, but it won't let me load it. So that is unfortunate. It has frozen the page. Let me just check. I'll try one more little device. And trick. No, it's not going to work. Okay, that is a shame. Well, what a race we've had in Formula 2. We'll be on air shortly for our F1 qualifying build-up. You'll hear from the team and Jenny Gow as we will have all the action. We're into the final laps, by the way, of the Truck Series race, where it's been waved off because it started to rain again. So nearly another delay. F2's delivered. Will it be raining tomorrow? Join us to find out. My thanks to Omi. My thanks to you at home. See you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.